Hey everyone, welcome back to another Autodesk Fusion tutorial. Today I have a pretty simple model for you. We have been doing a lot of renovations to the exterior of our home, mainly working on the front porch. Right now we are refinishing all of our siding. I'm super cheap, so I'm not paying someone to do it. I have misplaced the little tool that punches the hole in the sandpaper for the dust collection on my DeWALT palm router. And so we're going to create that today. And I'm sure this model exists already somewhere online, but I enjoy designing things and creating them and 3D printing them. So I figured I would take you along for the ride. So let's hop into Fusion and we'll get started. So I have already taken all the measurements I need for this model. So I'm not going to show you that, but we're going to start with a simple sketch. So we'll go up to create sketch here and we're going to just go on this bottom plane. I'm going to hit R for rectangle. And I want to draw a rectangle out from the center of the origin. So we have to click the center rectangle button here. We'll click on the origin and you can see the measurement on the left here highlighted in blue. I'm going to type in 110 millimeters. I'm going to hit tab to go to the other dimension and we're going to do 107 millimeters and hit enter. That is the size of the bottom pad of my sanding disc. And this sanding sanding pad has 8 circles that go around. And the circles are 43 millimeters from the center. And so we can do a little math here and get this pattern. Now, one of the circles, if you see this green line, one circle does not line up with this green line. They're actually evenly spaced on either side of the green line. So we can do 360 degrees in a circle divided by 8 is 45 degrees. And since we're splitting it down the middle, we're going to divide that again, so 22.5 degrees. So let's do a few construction lines here. So I'm going to do L on the keyboard for line, or you can click this button here. You can click X on the keyboard to make it a construction line, or you can click this button here. So I'm going to click on the origin and just drag up. I'm going to hit X on the keyboard again just to get out of construction. Hit escape to get out of my line tool. And I'm going to hit C for circle. And I'm just going to draw a circle about 7.5 millimeters in diameter. The holes on the sander are 8 millimeters in diameter, so I'm just going to give myself a little bit of wiggle room making this a little smaller. So let's hit L again and X again to make it a construction. And I'm going to click the origin and then click the center of that circle and hit escape. So from here, we want to dimension the length of this line. So I'm going to hit D on the keyboard, or you can click sketch dimension here. Click this line, and I'm going to type in 43. I'm still on the dimension tool, so now I'm going to click this line and this line to get an angle, and I'm going to type in 22.5, hit enter, and hit escape on the keyboard to get out of that tool. I'm just going to drag this out of the way. So now we know we have our circle in the right position, and now we just need to pattern it around. So I'm going to go up to create and circular pattern. The object we want to pattern is this circle. So I'll click on the circle, shows one selected. Then we want to click center point, which will be the center of our square. And you can see right here, it starts with 3. So here's the first circle, second circle, third. We want 8. So I'm just going to type in 8 and hit OK. And there are my circles. Before we get out of this sketch, I want to do one more thing. I'm going to hit R for rectangle. And I don't want a construction line, so make sure that's turned off. And I'm going to make a little guide for this punch tool, I guess is what we'll call it, to reference the top of the sander. So we're going to make like a little lip up here. So I'm going to click on this corner. Without clicking again, I'm just going to move my mouse to this corner and then drag up. And that kind of locks this vertical position here. And I'm just going to type in 4 millimeters and click. And now we will turn this into like a little lip. So I think that's about all we need to do here. So I'm going to finish sketch. Now I'm going to select everything and hit E for extrude. And you can see the arrow. If I type in a positive number, it's going to go extrude in this direction. I want to go in the other direction. So I'm going to type in -4. I want this to be a little bit thicker. 4 is not too bad, 4 millimeters, and hit enter. Now, after you create a sketch and then use that sketch to create a solid body, the sketch will sometimes hide. And what you can do is go over to this folder and hit the down menu here and turn that sketch back on. And now we're going to extrude just this profile here. So I'm going to E for extrude. I'm going to extrude this up about 6 millimeters, 1/4 of an inch. And now we want to extrude these little punches. So I'm going to click each one of these profiles, holding Shift on the keyboard to select multiple. And now once I have all those selected, I'm going to hit E for extrude, and we'll extrude these up maybe, I don't know if we have to go full 6. Let's just go the full 6. And you can see this little handle right here. This kind of this controls the extrude angle. If it's kept at 0, it just extrudes straight up. But we want to kind of make this to a point. Let's see what 30 would look like. Let's go with 30 degrees there, and I will hit OK. Now we can hide that sketch, and we have a nice little hole punch out. Now, before we do the finishing touches, and only because this is a 3D print and I want to waste as little filament as I can. There's just a lot of space here, a lot of filament here we really don't need. So I'm just gonna, we could have done this in the first sketch, but I'm just gonna create another sketch right here. Click on this surface. I'm gonna hit C for circle, and let's just drag this out. Oh, 50 looks good. We'll do 50 millimeters and finish sketch. We can click that sketch profile, hit E for extrude, and instead of typing something in, we can just click on this arrow, and if we go up, it will create a new body because there's no new body in its way, or solid body in its way. But we're going to extrude downward, and it'll automatically turn red, which means it's going to cut. So let's hit OK. All right, so I think we're gonna do a few more things. We're gonna chamfer all these edges to get rid of these sharp corners. So I'm gonna hit the chamfer tool, and I'm just gonna select the faces. When you select a face, so you can either select an edge, or if you select a face, it will chamfer all of the edges connected to that face. So we're just gonna go through and select. We don't want to chamfer. I don't want to chamfer this whole face because I really don't want to chamfer these cones. So I'm just going to select this edge. I'm going to select this one and this one. I think we have it all covered there. So we basically, we selected everything but this surface here. So I'm just going to do a 0.3 chamfer. That gives it, that's my go-to for cutting off sharp edges there. And like I said, I didn't want this chamfered here, and it'd probably be okay, but just in case it interferes with my lining up of this tool. So the only other thing I'm going to do with this is I'm going to create my own brims on these corners. Obviously for 3D printing, any kind of sharp corner like this has a pretty good chance of lifting off the plate. And instead of doing those brims in Slicer, I like to do them in Fusion when I can. I just feel like they work a little better. So I'm going to create a sketch on this bottom surface. I'm just going to hit C for circle, and it should kind of reference these corners here. I'm just going to click, and we're going to do like a 20 millimeter circle. And we'll do this for all of these corners. And the trick here is extruding it to the same height as your layer line. So once we finish sketch here, our layer lines, when we 3D print, it's going to be 0.2 high. So I'm going to select these profiles, sketch profiles, holding Shift to select all of them. I'm going to hit E for extrude, and you can see it wants to extrude downward because this is how we drew the sketch. So technically it's up, but we want to extrude the other way. So I'm going to type in -0.2. And you can see it's turning red because that extrusion is running into the solid body that's already here. But I'm going to join this instead of cut and hit OK. And now it just creates those brims as part of this bottom layer. But because we put this point 0.3 chamfer on right here on this edge, you'll be able to cut this brim away with a little utility knife. Super easy, and it comes off really nice. You might not be able to break them off, but you'll be able to cut them off really easy, and it gives a nice finish. So I think that's about all we need to do. Now, one measurement I didn't get is the height of this cone. So I'm hoping these cones aren't too tall. If they are, you can either go back to this extrusion. What's extrusion? This one right here in our timeline, and just not extrude it as high. And but that's just something you have to print and test out. You know, the other thing I'm not too sure about is if the height of this lip needs to be taller. But we're going to just send this to the printer. I'm just going to print it in some PLA, and I will cut to that video next. All right, so let's try it out for the first time. I'm doing a little voiceover here. The part printed pretty good. It works as it should. The only thing I would probably change about this design is that little front reference lip. It could be just a tad taller just to make lining it up a little easier. Maybe overall, the overall thickness could be a little thicker to make it a little bit more robust, but works great. If you want to download the model, the link is in the description.